All right, Heidi ho. I'm feeling a little punchy. How about you? I don't know. Maybe you noticed I'm just kind of like sitting in this place and doing my thing. I have other places to go, but you know, I can't so quickly do this and around. On our quest to understand numbers and fractional counting, which is a little more tricky, we are going to do 3 examples of converting fraction into a decimal, and then we'll do decimal into fraction into a different thing. Okay? So it's super important we know how to convert these. And again, you could use this as an elementary lesson, but I'm only doing it once, and I'm going to do it in a little bit of a headier headspace because I've said it that way. Because we are moving toward something a little higher thinking. But yeah, every time I look at the screen, I hate it because I have a thing in my eye and I can't get it fixed right now. My poor brother had like a toothache, and he couldn't, this is what's happening, right? We can't go into any sort of emergent surgery or services unless, you have the COVID, which is hard. That's why we have to stay home so we don't, cause extra problems. Okay, so here are my 3 examples, right? We're going to go 2/5. We're going to convert that into a decimal. 5/9. We're going to convert into a decimal. And 7/13. Got some prime numbers going on. Love it. Okay, so let's do this one first. And let's remind ourselves, we have to, it's hard to just, the way these forms are now, it's really difficult to do just in our brains. Some of us, we can do it if you've seen it a lot, but there's a way that in our base 10 system, we break it down. Fancy time. Are you ready for our, I'll miss you. Okay. All right. So 2/5, okay, means that 2 is being divided by 5. Okay? This is some serious upside down math. Okay. 2 is being divided by 5. 2 is divided by 5. 2 isn't as big as 5, right? So how's that going to work? Well, 2 is in the whole number set, right? And it's a natural number, so it's 5. But it can be written as a decimal. Every number can be. So what you do is you put the decimal, and then you add zeros. Well, how many zeros do you need? I don't know. This always makes me think of money, and immediately when I think of money, it becomes easier for me to figure out what it is. So you put this, you mirror this up here. Okay? This is your decimal. Don't forget that, okay? Right? This is, on this side is the whole part. All the numbers on that side are the whole part. And on this side of the decimal, all that way, those are the fractional parts of your number, okay? That's what that means. That's what the decimal is, a placeholder between the full parts that are whole numbers, integers, and between the fractional parts. So you ask yourself, how many times does 5 go into 2? And again, you need to know your times tables. Well, 5 can't go into 2. We established it's not going to go in at all because it's bigger than 2. I can't have 2 cookies and divide it in with 5 children without breaking up the cookies. It's not possible to be, again, we're always looking for equality. That's not something that actually happens in our world. Coffee. Okay, so it doesn't go into 2. So then we ask, does it go into 20? Well, yes, it does. 5 can go into 20. And how many times? And again, memorize your times table. 5 goes into 20 4 times. So you put the 4 there. 5 times 4 is, shocker, 20. 20 minus 20 is 0. You're actually done. 2/5 is the same as 0.4. And some people might know that because if I go down here, oh, we got to do some good upside down here. 2/5, you can multiply tops and bottom by 2, and that's the same as 4/10. And a tenth is a tenth. Tenth. 4, 4. So you might be able to recognize that. Okay. All right, let's go to the next one. 5/9. All right, we're going to set it up the same way. 5 is being divided by 9. Okay? This is slanty slant, but I can't let it get too far of the way. Actually, I'm going to put it below. Sorry. 5 is being divided by 9. Okay? And same thing, I'm going to extend this. I'm going to put the decimal there. I'm going to put it right above. Okay. How many times can 9 go? I'm going to add a bunch of zeros, sorry. I'll add 3 for fun until we get to, I don't want to get to my third space. How many times does 9 go into 5? Well, it doesn't. So put 0. How many times does 9 go into 50? See, we're going to go to 50 now. Let's think about this. Let's think of our times tables. 9 goes into 50 without going over, right? Its price is right. It goes in 5 times. 9 times 5 is 45. So 9 times 5 now is 45. 50 minus 45 is, we don't need this 0. We'll carry this 0 down. Now I ask myself, how many times does 9 go into 50? Well, we just answered that. It goes in 5 times. And 9 times 5 is 45. And 50 minus 45 is 5. And we carry the 0 down. And here we are again. How many times does 9 go into 50? How long could I be doing this? If your answer is forever, you would be correct. Just a reminder of what we're doing with the going down. We are finding the whole parts were 0. The tenths parts were 5. And what we're actually doing is we're subtracting away the tenth parts because, again, all math is counting. So I use subtraction because, remember, multiplication is batched addition. Division is these batching of subtraction. So we actually, the subtraction part is down here. And then this is the division. This is what it ends up becoming, right? So about repeating decimals, right? They could go on forever. So do you remember the symbol we used for this? And I'm doing this again as though we've done this before. You could do another 5. You could keep writing 5s, or I'm going to go way to the bottom so we can see it. 5 over 9 is equal to 0.5 repeating. You remember that? Use the bar. Now we'll go over some others in the future, but use the bar on the repeating part. Okay? That's important because we're going to talk about other things in a second. And that's why I did not have this be 11. Okay, so last one. Shoot, we're right at 10 minutes, so I better try to be fastish. Or I could just, you know what, let's wrap this up and I'm going to do this one. I'm going to erase this and then I'm going to do this one on a different thing because we're right at 10. Okay, so remember, fractions can be converted into decimals. All rational numbers, which fractions are ratios, rational, all rational numbers can be converted into a decimal. All of them. But as we talked about at the very beginning, not all decimals can be put back into fractions. All right, I'm going to do this last one in a second, so we're right at 10 minutes. All right, heidi-ho!